Welcome back, everyone, to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, joining you guys off camera for this episode of Conversations LA. I'm excited to welcome to our program today Juan Frausto as well as Alex Palacios. They're talking to us today about the film The Procession Diaries, but also, of course, what it's been like for them to be able to do what they love as a producer and director on the project. Juan, Alex, hello to you and welcome to the program.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you all being on with us. So, Juan, I'm going to start with you. I mean, first of all, what has it been like for you to see the initial response to the film?
Well, so far, we have a couple of reviews that have been on Google or on YouTube, and they've been very favorable, especially when they talk about the lead actress, Catherine Monroe, who pretty much everybody's saying that she did a fantastic job. And I did see that when we were shooting the film. So we're getting the attention that we need, and I'm actually pushing it out there so people can watch it. I'm trying to get as much people as possible to see it, and we have the premiere on June the 4th, and I'm inviting a lot of people that I know in the news media. So I'm just crossing my fingers to show up and talk about the film.
It's amazing how many people is giving us good feedback and about performance and all that kind of stuff.
So, Alex, let's talk about that. You're the producer on the project. We're going to get more into the film and, of course, let our audience know how they can find out more information, of course, and be a part of the movement. I mean, what was it about film for you, Alex, that initially drew you into it?
When I met Juan, he got me a little part in one of his films. I did makeup, and that's when I started developing curiosity. I was like, what is it to be behind the camera, in front of the camera, and all this kind of stuff. And that's how we start talking about it. And one night he told me, Alex, you want to be producing a movie? And I said, yes, why not?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So, one, it's part of the fun for you, not only, of course, being able to tell stories through film, but also to work with people like Alex and helping to bring projects to life.
Of course, one of the hardest things to do movies is actually raise the funding, and sometimes I really hate begging for money. But once we accumulate all the funding, that's when the fun starts. And with funding, also having actors that are pretty much in the industry that also is a big help to help us give the production the recognition, the validation that this is going to be a real movie. And having people like James Russo, Eileen Deeds, Johnny Ortiz, who have been in so many of the movies that come from the studios, that makes it a lot more fun because these are acclaimed actors that been around the block, and it's always special to feel that they provide the services to our own production.
Right. And we're going to talk more about that with you. One, Alex, I want to talk to you about the trust factor because I'm going to have a conversation with Catherine Monroe that you mentioned earlier, of course, being a part of this film. I mean, what is it like for you to see, as one was just talking about, to see the cast being able to work so hard to bring stories like this to life?
It was amazing. Everybody was happy to work with us, and we had Catherine. Juan was very helpful with us, and everybody else was contributing their part.
And Alex, for those, of course, who are just now finding out, I'm sorry, Juan, I'll ask you this, and then Alex, if you want to chime in. Juan, I mean, for those who are just now finding out about the film, tell them a little bit about what the film's about.
The film is basically about Rebecca, who happened to play with the Ouija board one night. And by doing so, she opened a door that let out a demon or the devil himself. And basically, she's trying to find help and deal with the problem. And so she goes to the webcam and starts asking for help. And in doing so, she supposedly, she has met with people that try to help her, but none of them pretty much believe her. So we pretty much see the point of view of what she goes through, and I don't think I've seen that in other movies, and I found that like the most interesting aspect of the movie, where we can actually see through the webcam the transformation and progression of her demonic possession, and I feel that Catherine, as the actress, made us believe that, and I think it really worked from the starting point all the way to the ending point, and I was very impressed with her ability to start, as very innocent and see the transformation progressed until the very end of the movie, where pretty much the devil has taken herself.
I was going to ask you, Alex. I mean, one of the ways I found out about this film, of course, was through our mutual friend Clip Morris of October Coast, and he sent me the trailer. That's the first thing I had a chance to see, and it's scary in itself.
Right.
But I think the interesting thing for me that made me curious about the Possession Diaries was that you could tell there was another story there. It wasn't just about, a shock of, a horror film. It really was about the layers of a character. I mean, was that also part of the fun for you to kind of see how that kind of unfolded? How, of course, there's a storyline, as one was talking about, but also you're able to see this transition of the character as the film goes on.
Juan, you can answer that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
That's a good question.
It takes a lot of work to see the many layers that we see in the movie, where, there were times that I know it was very difficult for Catherine to come to a point that required a lot of emotional energy. And there were times that I think I kind of like made her tired. But she would, I can see it when she was tired, and I would ask for another take, and somehow she will go to a corner and then come back and do it. In that process, I commend her a lot. It's not an easy thing to carry the movie, by yourself.
Right.
There was this time where, in the devil scene, where I felt her, like she was really into the character, that she actually got frozen. And I had to go and, calm her down, because she got into character like amazingly. And every time I was on set, I was able to see the different personalities and the way she was performing, so you can see she's a great actress.
Right. Well, that's definitely something we're going to actually be able to talk to Catherine more about. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, whether you're watching us on television or through our social media sites, you're watching Cyrus Webb Presents, our Conversations LA, as we're calling it. Juan Frausto has been our guest. He's the director of the Possession Diaries. Also, of course, we have producer Alex Palacios joining us as well. You guys can find out more information by going to www.thepossessiondiaries.com. Again, that's www.thepossessiondiaries.com. Juan, Alex, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate you all stopping by.
Thank you.
Thank you, and please look for it and support us.
And we definitely invite you all to do that. And thank you all for tuning into this segment of Cyrus Webb Presents.